What's going on, everybody? Andy Herman back here with another reaction video to what the Packers did to finalize their 2024 NFL draft, wrapping up with one selection in the 6th round, 2 selections in the 7th round, and then we've already got some undrafted free agents trickling in as well, so we'll go over that. Just to kind of recap, first of all, this is going to be just my finalizing the final 6th and 7th round picks and going over a couple other things really quick. Tomorrow morning, I'll have my full recap of day 3. Then Monday, we'll do a full recap of the entire weekend and draft and everything that's going on. And then I have interviews set with Tony Pauline, draft expert, Ben Fennell, draft expert. We'll get their takes on the class. And then from there, we're going to start doing all of these deep dives, unwrapping all of these presents. I take that deep dive more seriously than pretty much anything I do all season, making sure that you get all the information that you need on all of these brand new Green Bay Packers. So again, if you have not yet subscribed to the podcast, make sure to do so. Those are going to be can't miss. Ross Uglam's going to, I think, have on some special guests covering some of the Packers draft picks as well. He'll have his recap coming up. So we have a ton of draft content coming your way so that you guys can know everything about these new Green Bay Packers. Packers did finalize their draft with one 6th round pick, Travis Glover, offensive lineman, Michael Pratt, the quarterback out of Tulane, and then Kalen King, the corner out of Penn State. Let's just start there. Again, we'll do a little bit deeper dives into this in the episode for tomorrow morning, but Travis Glover, mauling offensive lineman. As I mentioned earlier, I thought that maybe they would go a little bit more aggressive on attacking offensive line in that 3rd to 4th round range. Instead, they went with Glover here. They went with Jacob Monk a little bit earlier in the draft. I think in the 5th round it was. So they still attacked it. And of course, you know, that Jordan Morgan guy in round 1, they get 3 guys in the draft. All of them a little bit different. Glover is more your physical mauling player. I think he has, we've always talked about, I should say, in the red zone area and just in general in the running game. Maybe they don't have enough of these guys that are pure physical movers that if you get into the red zone, like they're just going to push you 5 yards downfield. Travis Glover has some of that potential. Going to need a little bit of work in pass protection. Not usually your Packers type of player, a little bit lower on the RAS side of things. And again, usually you're looking at those clean movers. He's a little bit on the heavier side. But Green Bay takes a little bit more flyer type players on day 3 of the draft that maybe don't hit everything that they usually look for. We know that they're willing to take chances on undrafted guys like a Caleb Jones, Luke Tenuta. Like they're willing to do that again later in the draft. They took a little bit more of a chance here with Travis Glover. Immediate look at the tape. It looks pretty impressive. Like I said, pass pro is probably the thing that he's going to need the most work on. But a player I really like here in the 6th round for Green Bay. And then I thought they crushed it in the 7th round. Michael Pratt, the quarterback. I know a lot of people thought this was going to be a top 100 pick. I never really saw it that way. I did have the chance to break him down because some people did have him in the top 100 prior to the draft. I had him more 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th round quarterback, kind of a late day 3 type of guy. But this is a winner. This is somebody who has played a lot of college football, extremely accurate, will step up in the face of pressure, will make those job description throws, has a lot of success in his college football career, really led Tulane. I mean, they beat USC and Caleb Williams in their bowl game in 2022. And a lot of that is due to what, Pratt was able to do at quarterback. He's been a big time player in college football. He has low tier, I think, starting quarterback upside with high tier backup quarterback upside. And whatever he becomes, this is a really nice pick to take towards the end of round 3. I do agree that he probably was not expected to be there. And a lot of really smart draft people did have him in the top 100 on their draft board. So definitely worth the risk here. I talked a little bit of this on the live Q&A after the show. Even if he fails, last year they cut 2 7th round picks. Who cares? You take the flyer on this guy. We've seen guys like Brock Purdy go in the 7th round and become starting quarterbacks out of nowhere. This is that type of player that has some really unique traits, has won a ton in college football, is very accurate, mobile. He has a lot of the things that you look for. I think he is a higher level caliber prospect than what Sean Clifford was a season ago. If I were a betting man today, I bet Sean Clifford wins that battle just because he has that extra year in the system. But I bet they keep all 3 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. Obviously, this does not sit well for Alex Magoo. I still think they'll take 4 guys maybe into OTAs and mini camps, but it's going to be really tough for Alex Magoo to make any real headway into this 53-man roster at this point. And Magoo is already 29 years old. Love the pick of Michael Pratt. And then Kalen King. Kalen King was a corner that at the end of last year was being put on draft boards as the potential number 1 corner in the 2024 NFL draft. Now, he had a rough season, didn't play as he was expected to. This is a trend that Green Bay has done a lot of. Guys who didn't play their best college football in their final season, but had really good seasons the year before. To some extent, Jordan Love fits that billing. Dontavian Wicks absolutely fits that billing. Hopper, their linebacker in the third round, is the same sort of way. And so is Kalen King. Sauce Gardner signed off online on Twitter saying that the Packers got a steal in Kalen King. This is going to be a player that has the ability to be this year's Carrington Valentine, a 7th round corner with high-end upside. He didn't test the best. He didn't play well last year in college. What Green Bay is going to try to do is getting him back to the way he played in 2022. At least he has shown it at one point that he could be a very high-end corner. So Green Bay's saying, hey, you know what? We're going to nuke 2023. We're going to pretend it didn't happen. We're going to take a flyer on this guy in the 7th round. If you would have told, anyone at the end of 2022 that the Packers got Kalen King in the draft, they probably would have told you that they took him in the top 100 of the draft, and they might have told you that they took him in the 1st round. They get him as a flyer, end of 7th round guy. Huge pick for Green Bay here. Again, might not turn out. Maybe he doesn't even make it out of training camp. We will see. But these are the exact type of players that you want to be taking swings on in the 7th round. And if they don't work out, who the heck cares? But a potential quarterback that has some real legitimate upside, a corner who is expected at one point to be a 1st round pick, sign me up. Let's get him into Green Bay. And let's see if we can get that mojo flowing and maybe Kalen King back to the way he played a couple years ago. And Michael Pratt, let's see if we can take all of those juicy traits and the things that made him successful in college and carry those things over into a system that will be very friendly to a quarterback like Michael Pratt. Meanwhile, there's already some undrafted free agent rumors out there. Packer Report's already got it up on their list. Michigan offensive tackle Trent Jones, University of South Florida offensive lineman Donovan Jennings. More on that in just a second. NIU defensive tackle James Esther, Arizona State University tight end Messiah Swinson, Ohio defensive tackle Rodney Matthews, Washington linebacker Raylan Goforth, Elkhorn State running back Jervion Howard, Albany wide receiver Julian Hicks, and Wisconsin long snapper Peter Bowden. 2 guys I want to hit on really quick here. Donovan Jennings, the tackle/guard from South Florida, he was on my list of one of the 25 most likely Packers coming out of this draft. They didn't draft him. They get him an undrafted free agency. They gave him over $100,000 in guaranteed money, which is huge for the Packers. They usually don't do that. This is like getting an extra 7th round pick. I really like this for Green Bay. I think he has a real legitimate chance to make it as a guard in the NFL. Big time undrafted free agent signing. Peter Bowden, long snapper, Wisconsin. Dane Brugler's top rated long snapper. Not only did Green Bay get arguably the top safety in the draft, arguably the top linebacker in the draft, Daniel Jeremiah's top running back in the draft, but Dane Brugler's top long snapper in the draft. But in all seriousness, I expect Peter Bowden to win the long snapper job. Wholeheartedly. I do not think Matt Orzik will make it. I think Peter Bowden's going to be your new long snapper. And hopefully, finally, the Packers' long-running nightmare of long snappers and circling through will be done. I think Peter Bowden has the ability to be the guy that ends that. I will look you in the eye and tell you I have not watched any long snapper tape. I will tell you that he was Dane Brugler's number 1 guy. And I will tell you that Matt Orzik was not very good. So I am excited about Peter Bowden being that guy for Green Bay and hopefully becoming the long-term long snapper. Meanwhile, Matt LaFleur, in his press conference after the draft, 2 big takeaways. Number 1, Kingsley Enagbare did not tear his ACL. Now, where would we have got that crazy assumption that he tore his ACL from? Kingsley Enagbare said it in the locker room exit. He said, yep, tore it. He thought he tore his ACL. He did not, apparently. So it's still injured. Still not 100%, but the idea that he tore his ACL and might miss a good chunk of the season, that apparently is gone. Matt LaFleur is pleased where he's at and gave us the update, and Brian Gutekunst followed up on it as well. So no torn ACL for Kingsley Enagbare, which might explain why they didn't draft an edge rusher. I explained it on the chat too. It was not a great edge rusher draft for Green Bay for the types of players that they like, but great news for Enagbare. And also, sounds like Eric Stokes is ready to go 100%, no setbacks, no nothing, which is maybe a reason why they didn't address corner super aggressively. So some good news there. Your full draft class in its totality: Jordan Morgan, Edgerrin Cooper, Javon Bullard, Marshawn Lloyd, Tyron Hopper, Evan Williams, Jacob Monk, Katano Ladapo, Travis Glover, Michael Pratt, and Kalen King. Really fun draft class. Cannot wait to break it down with you over the course of the next couple weeks, pick by pick. Can't wait to talk to Tony Pauline and Ben Fennell. Should be a ton of fun. Ross will be in here doing all of his amazing stuff. So tons of draft content still coming your way. Unwrapping the presents is arguably the best part of the entire draft process. So like I said, should be fun, should be epic. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Become a Pack a Day Podcast YouTube member. Tons of great stuff that'll be out there as well. You get those extra member Q&As. Either way, appreciate all the support. Appreciate you guys so much for all of the people that showed up to the live draft party. We had over 2,000 people on Thursday, over 1,600 people on Friday. I think we came close to 1,000 today. And just the quick one that I did prior to the Packers, picking in the 4th round today. People showing up at Badger State for the draft party. Just the support has been endless. I think we added almost 100 Pack a Day Podcast YouTube memberships over the course of the last month. It's overwhelming. I cannot thank you guys enough. I will be back soon. Sunday morning, we'll launch, again, our full takeaways from day 3. Monday morning will be all of the takeaways from the entire weekend and sort of the story of all of their draft picks. And then, like I said, we'll start breaking down these draft picks pick by pick, and I can't wait to get into it. I'll talk to you guys soon, but until next time, and as always, go Pack Go.